Hey, what's up? This is Simon from TPS Productions, and just wanted to quickly pay tribute to Sid Haig. A lot of us know him as Captain Spaulding from House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects, and the latest Three from Hell, um, and a billion other movies. A 50-year career. Um, Personally, I met Sid a couple of times at conventions. Um, Always an extremely nice guy, always very eager to meet all the fans, and not just meet the fans, but to take the time to get to know the fans and ask them questions just the same as we're asking him questions. Um, you know, was always very, very fair about prices when it comes to autographs or pictures. A lot of times he would do stuff for free, and this is a guy that, not trying to say anything that, he was flat broke or anything, but of a lot of the convention attendees, or the guests, he may have been one of them that could have used that $20 or that $30 or whatever, and he didn't, it was obviously never about the money for him. It was about the fans. Like truly every entertainer, from wrestlers and musicians and actors and actresses and everybody, and TV show people, and I don't know, that wasn't even a thing, but they all say, oh, it's about the fans, it's about the fans, it's about the fans. But, to meet Sid Haig, and real quickly, even Bill Moseley, too, it was truly all about the fans. And he knew there were people there that may only had a few bucks, had to really, what I'm trying to say here, divvy out their money to meet exactly who they wanted to meet. I've been that person at a convention before too. Like, damn, I can only meet 2 or 3 people. And Sid was always somebody that I always went to his booth. Hey, what's up? And he knew that, and he knew that it meant the world to that fan, regardless of age or gender or race or political background. And that fan, it meant the world to say hey to him, and for him to say hey back. And he was always in great spirits, just so awesome. Like, some people you'd meet at these conventions, and it's like, you'd meet them like on Sunday afternoon, and they've been there for 3 or 4 days, and they've worked their table for 10 or 12 hours a day. By that time they just don't give a fuck, and they want to leave, and they've made their money, and blah blah blah. Sid never ever ever was like that. And his performances, I've honestly not seen much of his work before House of a Thousand Corpses, so, I'm not trying to be a poser here, like, I don't know much about him before House of a Thousand Corpses, but his Captain Spaulding stuff, and, he was in a couple Night of the Living Dead reboots, remakes, reimaginings, reconfigured populations, whatever the fuck. But he was an incredible actor. Like, the nicest guy in the world. In the world. Not just in the world. The nicest guy in the world that played the most brutal, horrible, sadistic, bad people on film. And that really goes to show that Sid Haig was a fucking amazing actor. So, I don't have a whole lot left. I could go all day, but I can't do that. Daniel has to have a chance to talk. But rest in peace, Sid. 80 years, man, that's a good fucking run. A lot of us won't see that. Man, I love you. Love your work. It was an honor and a pleasure to meet you. And, rest in peace.
For me, I gotta say that my introduction to Sid Haig was House of a Thousand Corpses. I think a lot of people, it's clearly what he's going to be the most remembered for is Captain Spaulding, which he was great. He killed it. I mean, seriously, there will never be another like him. Um, but I think one thing a lot of people forget is he has a huge library, a back catalog, if you will, of just great performances. It was shortly after I saw House of a Thousand Corpses, and that was my first introduction to Sid Haig. I was around that time I was getting really big into Quentin Tarantino, and I watched Jackie Brown, which he has a small role as the judge in that. But in the special features, Pam Grier was talking about hanging out with Sid Haig again and everything, and she was mentioning all these like great like black exploitation films from today, Coffee, Foxy Brown, uh, oh my God, White Mama, Black Mama. There's a prison one I'm leaving out. I'm sorry, I'm on the spot right now, but no. So whenever she was mentioning all these great movies I was wanting to get into, I went back and checked them out, and it turned out they were really great. Like he's a great villain. He was just awesome, and then I saw his performance in a Spider Baby, and it was it was Ralph, and he was great in that. Even a movie like Galaxy of Terror. I fucking hated that movie. It's a horrible movie, but he was really cool in it. And the thing is, like, as vile and twisted as he could play it, he was just the nicest guy you will ever meet. I had the pleasure of meeting him about 4 years ago, Days of the Dead in Indianapolis, and 2015. And the funny thing about it was he's been in bad health for a little bit now, and I remember even then there was something on the internet that said that he was, he may have just been hospitalized, or there was some kind of rumor that he was down, and so he probably was going to make this year's Days of Dead, and I was just like, oh no, because he was definitely one of the guys on the list I wanted to see. Turned out though he showed up, but I mean he did look, I mean he looked rough, he really did, and but still yet when you went to go talk to him, I mean no matter how much pain he was probably in, he was all smiles and like literally took the time to talk to you. And that's the thing like at conventions. I've only been to a couple in my life, and it's a little disheartening when you meet certain people and they just kind of take your money and rush you out there, right? Like, okay, you're good, okay, go. He was one of the few that would stop and talk to you. Like he wanted to get to know you. He was very appreciative of his fans, and I mean that really resonates because I mean, there's a lot of celebrities I like out there, but when they pass, it won't really hit me that hard because I was like, I never met them, and I don't know how they were in real life. But with Sid, I've actually met him, talked to him, had a conversation, and dude was just a phenomenal guy. In fact, he was one of the only guys I would know out there. And I mean, there's a couple other ones, but he's one of the few guys out there that give out a free picture. Like didn't charge you for it or anything. I mean, that's just the kind of great guy this dude was. And I was just, I don't know, just being a poor kid from Bedford, it's just kind of like, you don't get that kind of especially from like movie stars, celebrities, and so it was just really cool that when I met this guy, even though you can see it in his eyes, see it on his face, he was in pain, he still just took the time and talked to me, and just the nicest guy he really was. And yeah, I don't know, it's definitely gonna suck. I will say that one thing I'm really glad was before he went out, he was able to do Three from Hell, kind of his last gift to us fans. So yeah, that's really all I can say. Rest in peace, man. We're gonna miss you. So.